Now joined by number 6 ranked UFC featherweight Calvin Kattar. Calvin, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you. Who am I talking to?
You're talking with Neil with the PR team, but you'll be speaking with a number of journalists from around the world today.
All right, great.
We'll go first to Simic Dada with Sports Kita. Your line is open.
Hey Calvin, welcome back, and I hope you're doing well.
Doing well, thanks.
So you mentioned recently that your goal for 2021 is to go 3-0. Given that you get the victory over a former featherweight champion in Max Holloway, do you feel that the title shot should be your next fight?
My goal is for 2020 to go 3-0, and I get to do that 2 weeks. My 2021 doesn't start till after the Max fight, but yeah, I don't know what else you could do other than going a 3-fight win streak and take out the #1 contender trying to earn a title shot.
Okay, stylistically, everyone's been talking about this fight. Max, of course, has landed the most significant strikes in a fight. You're known for your clinical boxing as well, but also you have a reach advantage over him. Do you feel that personally that gives you an advantage heading into this fight?
I mean, reach helps. Reach helps. Mindset helps. Wanting more than them helps. I'm going to take all three in there with me in the octagon and just do what I got to do to get my hand raised.
And you've also been training with Rob Font ahead of this fight, and he recently secured a big win in the last UFC event of 2020. I just wanted to get your thoughts on his win over Marlon Moraes.
Yeah, he's a beast, man. So, somehow he finds a way to improve after a year layoff with an injury. Comes out looking better than ever. And I did train with him for this fight all the way up until he had his fight, because now I can't train with him because he's too heavy.
Okay, last question from me. You've always mentioned that at the end of the day, what matters the most for you is to get your hand raised, no matter how you do it. But I got to ask you this: do you feel a stoppage win over former champion like Holloway makes a big statement to the rest of the division?
It'd be a crazy statement over a guy that's never been finished. I mean, you make him take a fall, even it's a big thing. Max Holloway is the real deal, and I get to go out and prove that I'm next in line on Saturday night.
Okay, I look forward to a fight, sir, and good luck to you this weekend.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Gabriel Gonzalez with Cage Side Press. Your line is open.
Hello, Calvin. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you. I want to ask, second time over there on Fight Island, how has the experience of the trip and the process from the first time around helped you this time for this week?
Just knowing what to expect as far as the long travel time. The heat's a little different. It was 115 degrees the last time we were here, but still pretty hot. I think we're in the 90s. The bubble got a little smaller. We're not able to hit the beach and do the F1 racing, so I'm glad I got it out of the way the first time around. And now it's just strictly business trip and a big opportunity with Max Holloway on Saturday night.
A lot of people have really just gone over and over Max's last two fights with Volkanovski. I want to know, how much have you watched them, and what did you think of his adjustments from the first one to the rematch?
I thought he made great adjustments. Yeah, everyone's quick to write you off after a 2-fight skid, even if it is to the current champ, So I'm ready to fight the best Max Holloway that stepped foot in the octagon, and I'm ready for 25 minutes. A finish would be great, but I'm just looking to go get my hand raised, and a win over Max Holloway, like you said, puts me next in line. So I'm just focused on a win over him.
It's no secret when you go out there, people know it's going to be a good show and that you bring it. The fans coming back, is there more pressure to put on a show knowing that there is a little bit more of that energy when they see you get out there this Saturday?
Maybe for some people, but for myself, I'm not really focused on that. The only pressure I put on myself, or that I feel, is the pressure that I put on myself, is the internal pressure. I don't focus on the external pressure. And, I'm just ready to take on Max Holloway. The crowd and ABC is all a plus, but I'm not focused on it.
My last question, just a little bit of a prediction. Who do you think will win in the title fight that they expect with Volkanovski and Brian Ortega?
I was just saying before, I'm really not there mentally yet. I'm just focused on Max Holloway, and to give either of those guys any of my attention right now would be a discredit to Max.
Hey, thank you, Calvin. Good luck.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Louise Green with MMA Crazy. Your line is open.
Hi, Calvin. You had a great year last year, 2 solid wins. Can you talk a little bit about your journey so far to get to this point? And, what were the first thoughts when this matchup with Max was put forward to you?
Can you see through the video camera? By any chance, can you guys see? Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
This will tell you part of my story. Right here. It took a long road to get here. Last 2 fights, wound up with broken nose. 15 years in the game, busting my ass, earning every opportunity in front of me. And Max is a tough test, but the opportunities, they only get bigger. The stage never gets smaller off a win. And, we're right here. Everything I ever won is right in front of me. Win over Max Holloway puts me next in line for the belt.
And, what are your thoughts on Max Holloway as a former champ and, what he has achieved in his career so far at featherweight? And how much would it mean to you to be able to get a win over him on Saturday?
It's huge. Max Holloway is the #1 featherweight fighter in the world right now, and he's the #8 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. So a win over him is huge. Even it's a great checkpoint to even be competing against a guy like him. I feel like we earned this opportunity, and a win over him, like I said, puts me next in line. So it's huge.
And you mentioned a little bit there about his past performances against Volkanovski and how he adjusted there. But what do you think you can expect to see from him on Saturday night?
I could expect to see the best Max Holloway. You don't take a 0-2 skid, close loss to the champ, and come back worse. I'm sure he's hungry, he's motivated, and I'm ready for the best Max Holloway.
All right. Well, good luck. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Go next to Alistair Bishop with MMA Republic. Your line is open.
How are you, sir?
I'm great, thank you.
Great. Slight change of weather there, Calvin, from Massachusetts to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, I'm hoping to miss a couple snowstorms. It's always a plus when you can not have to shovel.
Fantastic. The first question I wanted to ask you, you've been in the UFC a relatively short time and got into a main event quite quickly. What do you credit that success to, or that push from the promotion itself?
Yeah, I think it's just sink or swim here in the UFC, and I'm not about to, put 15 years in my career just to see it end so quick. That's what happens. You put in the work, you earn these opportunities, you're ready when they come, and I feel like I'm just fighting like a guy with purpose, and I see everything that I've wanted right in front of me, and it's just forced me to triple down on the work, which is what got me here, and I'm excited to just go compete against the best.
Fantastic. Obviously, your second main event in Abu Dhabi, bigger opponent, bigger platform, fans coming back. What would you say is different for yourself personally about this main event in terms of style and yourself personally as a mixed martial artist?
I feel like I'm constantly improving every time I step in there. Since 2017, I feel like I've gotten better than I feel like I've improved more since 2017 than I have in my whole career, and that's just credit to my team. I got the best team in the world with me. New England Cartel, Tyson Chartier, Rob Font. I'm out here with Jake Manini and my brother Jameson. We're out here chasing down goals and relentlessly, and I'm within arm's reach of that belt, and Max Holloway's in my way.
Would you say that the style that Max Holloway presents for yourself, you and Max Holloway, the styles involved, would you say that this is the kind of style that would make for a fight of the night sort of style?
I prefer performance of the night. So, fight of the night, you both take a beating, but it is what it is, man. You got to do what you got to do to get the hand raised, and that's all I'm focused on.
Last one for me, Calvin. You've spoken about getting through Max Holloway, gets you straight into the belt contention. You mentioned a bit earlier on, I think in the week before, that a good KO over Max Holloway puts you perfectly in line for the title. Do you think a KO is necessary or an emphatic win is necessary to put your hand up in a pretty stacked division?
Not over Max. Maybe against weaker competition, you might have to look impressive, but a win over Max is impressive in itself.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Good luck.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Damon Martin with MMAfighting.com. Your line is open.
A lot has been said about, Max's place in the history of the featherweight division, and obviously no disrespect whatsoever to the current Alexander Volkanovski. Is there something to be said that maybe you're facing, an even tougher challenge here, an even bigger fight with a guy like a Max Holloway?
Meaning, is he coming more prepared this time?
Meaning in terms of like the magnitude of this fight. I mean, he may not have the belt, but a lot of people believe he's the greatest fighter of all time.
Exactly, yeah. And for me, like I said, I always have that uncrowned champ mentality, and the win over Max Holloway gives me that. It's that people still think he's a champ, like you said. So I then would legitimately become the uncrowned champ, and then from there, it only makes sense to take on the winner of that fight coming up in February, March next.
Generally speaking, one of the things that Max does so well is he really uses his cardio and conditioning. And it seems like we've seen it in a lot of his fights. He actually ups the output in rounds 3, 4, and 5, which is typically what you're not supposed to do. Now, you're one of the few guys who actually seems to match that. You seem to, up your intensity and up your output as the fight goes on. Do you feel like that's actually something that actually makes this a better fight for you in a 5-round fight? Because again, Max has used that as a weapon so many times, but you're actually one of the guys who seems to do that as well.
Yeah, I think it all depends also, how efficient you're fighting. You can have the most in shape guys, look like it all depends, man. Sometimes the pressure gets to them and they get that energy dump, or they fight inefficiently and they look exhausted by the third round. Styles make fights. Like I said, we're prepared for the pressure and volume Max Holloway brings, and we expect to fight the best Max Holloway there is.
And last one for me, Calvin. When you fought Zabit Magomedsharipov kind of in a short notice main event, we saw how that third round went for you and how a lot of people believe if you would actually had more time, that would have been a big win for you. But that being said, when you think about that fight, over a year ago and then where you've come from then, can you kind of give me an idea like how much better you feel, how much more confident you feel going into a main event like this versus just that fight, a couple fights ago?
Yeah, just that I've been here before now. This is my third main event. Even that fight, I think it was just minimal tactical errors. I don't, you don't think he really outclassed me. I think it was a close fight, and Max is coming off a close L right now. I'm sure he's hungry, motivated, but so isn't the guy that doesn't have all the accolades looking for that title. So it's going to make for a great main event, and the fans should be, excited about tuning in for this one, especially since it's for free and all next year the pay-per-view is going up.
Thanks, Calvin.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We'll go next to Omar Mert with S Sport. Your line is open.
How are you?
Great. Thanks. How you doing?
Thanks, man. MMA Junkie choose your coach as the coach of the year, Tyson Chartier. What would you like to say about your coach?
Shout out MMA Junkie, knowing what's up. It's great. Tyson's got the same mentality as me and Rob. We're out here with something to prove, chip on our shoulder, and people think that this award probably happened for him overnight, but he's been in the game just as long, put in the work, put in the hours, and it's a credit to him and the work he's done to get this checkpoint for him, and it's well deserved.
Some of the MMA fans think you can beat Zabit in a 5-round match. What do you think about this idea, this comment?
Which ones don't? I'm kidding. What'd you say? I'm sorry, busting.
No. Okay. What do you think about this idea, this comment?
Yeah, I mean, it's over and done. When I get that opportunity to go against him next, we'll see what's up. We'll see who, which we're right and which we're wrong. But I think, like I said, minimal tactical errors was wrong in that fight. And I'm excited to get another shot at him.
Okay. Thank you, Calvin.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Jordan Ellis with Low Kick MMA. Your line is open.
Hi, Calvin. I just want to ask you about Max. He's known for having, a granite chin. Does that kind of influence your tactics for the fight? You're known as a puncher. Do you maybe take some off the shots because he's probably not going to go down, or do you just try and test it?
It's a good question, man. I wonder what he's thinking going against mine. I feel like I got the same problem he got. It's gonna make for a hell of a fight.
And does your last fight against Dan Ige, does that prepare you for this fight? Another guy who just wouldn't go away. You were putting it on him as the fight progressed, and you couldn't get rid of him.
Yeah, those Hawaiians are tough, man. Danny Gay got a coconut head, man. He's a tough dude, and that's another one who's got that chip on his shoulder, fighting for something. And anybody that steps in there, fighting for a purpose, they're tough to take out. And I feel like every fight's prepared me for this moment.
Okay, and a couple of people have just touched on the Max Volkanovski 2 fight, and you've kind of mentioned it was a close loss, but what did you make of the actual decision? Because it was quite controversial at the time.
At the time, I could have thought it might have gone Max's way, but I did have to give the champ credit for stepping up in the 5th round, landing some late takedowns. But yeah, close fight, could have went either way, and that's what happens when you're fighting the best guys in the world. That's why I don't put too much stock in the fact of him going 0-2 in his last 2, and I'm prepared to fight the best Max Holloway that's stepped in the octagon on Saturday.
Yeah, just finally from me on Saturday, have you given yourself a chance to, think about with a win, what you do when you get the mic and it's the biggest moments of potentially your career? Have you thought about that moment and what you might do with it?
Hopefully I don't do something stupid, but I visualize getting my hand raised and the mic, but I don't know what I'm gonna say when I do it. I just visualize getting my hand raised, and you got to earn that opportunity to speak in the mic, and I always keep that in mind every time I step in there. So I don't get ahead of myself. Got to get the hand raised first.
Okay, well, good luck. Can't wait to watch.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Cote Cruz with Fordwin MMA. Your line is open.
Hey, Calvin, do you hear me?
Yes, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
You're coming from a very successful 2020 for you and your team. 2 wins, 1 tremendous stoppage in your fight against Jeremy Stevens. Your teammate Rob Font had an amazing performance as well against Moraes. What do you attribute the current success of the New England cartel to?
Hard work, day in, day out. Just keep our head down, go to work every day. These opportunities don't just appear. You gotta go out and get them. And yeah, I thought he looked great. I thought to have that year layoff, somehow this kid finds a way to improve. And I know he's the best bantamweight in the world. You guys just you guys are finding out now, and he just needs the opportunity to go out and prove that. And I think he did in his last time he stepped in there.
You've said coming into this fight that you're in the right place, right where you want to be. Right now, you're coming back to Fight Island, a place that seems to have some very special properties in terms of getting a guy over, right? A big win here can take a fighter to new heights. Now that you're the main event and the return of the organization to Abu Dhabi, what kind of feelings does this bring up to you during fight week?
Just really, I try not to really think about all that. I just think I simplify it. I just focus on Max Holloway, tough fighter, and I got to go out and be the best Calvin Kattar there is to get the job done. That's it, plain and simple. I just got to go out and be the better fighter.
Well, you said that Max Holloway was looking past you during the build-up to this fight. Is this something that you still feel?
I said he talks a lot about the champ, and to overlook me would be a mistake. Everyone's asking him in the interviews probably a lot about the former champ, and he's responding. And my answer to that is just, all this talk about the former champ, to overlook me would be a mistake, and that's what it is.
Absolutely. Well, a very fun side of Fight Island is the hospitality. You posted a series of stories with the welcome kit you got at the hotel. Can you comment on all these little details that the organization in Abu Dhabi prepare for you guys? Does it make it special for you and the team?
Grab me that box. You guys got to see this. This is
where you at, Calvin? What are you gonna show me?
I just came from the other thing, man. This is popcorn, right? And that's a donut in there. There's a donut and M&Ms in this popcorn. I don't know if you can see it, but it's ridiculous. And this is just one of the many things that the W in Abu Dhabi has to offer.
How much of a temptation is that right now, man?
Yeah, it's a lot of temptation. And Man, I can't wait post fight to dig in. But that little chocolate figurine they made, it was over the top. It was great. I wish there was some left, but I was rooming with Rob, and I don't think that there's any of it left anymore. He ate the whole cage. He ate Max. Max didn't have a hand left.
Calvin
Yeah,
Kattar throwing people under the bus.
yeah. Hey, it is what it is, man. He threw me under the bus all yesterday. You should hear the shit he's saying out here, man. He's feeling froggy, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
Fair enough. Well, last question from me. You come to this fight as a slight underdog. Do you feel the odds makers are missing on something? What do you feel most people don't perceive in you as a fighter right now?
I don't care about the line, but being the underdog, I'm used to that role, and I almost prefer it. You know, like you said, you guys talk about pressure. Who's got more pressure? Me coming fight number one guy in the world, or the number one guy fighting me? You know, it's he's got a lot to handle. He's coming off 2 losses to the champ, and he doesn't have an easy task with me coming in Saturday night.
Well, thank you so much, Calvin, for your time. Best of luck in your fight.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Calvin. You're all set.
All right, appreciate you guys.
And we will be joined next by UFC welterweight Matt Brown.